So this is probably far too big of a basket for the apples I'm about to go pick, but we are going to go pick those apples. Also, I kind of feel bad, but I think I'm going to skip doing the homemade pie crust. I bought one because I just am not feeling confident in my ability to make a pie crust. So, yeah, I bought a refrigerated Pillsbury pie crust, and we're just going to use that because I don't want to mess up. Looking at these apples, there's enough for a pie, but I think that is literally all I'm going to get is a pie out of it, and I don't want to mess that up. So I'm going to save making a pie crust from scratch for another day, I think. So that was way more than I thought it was going to be. I almost filled my basket. I ended up throwing 3 of them away because I think either the birds or the bugs got to them. But they smell really good. Like, these almost smell like table apples. But they're going to be baked into a pie. So, hello and welcome. It is a very gray, very gloomy day, and I am going to attempt to turn my apples from my tree into a pie today. So, excuse the lighting. Like I said, it is... Oh, that's a little bit better. It's really, really dim and gray, so the lights are what I've got. Anyway, we are going to turn this into a cinnamon apple pie because that sounded really good, and because brown sugar always tastes better than white sugar, which is what I'm going to be using in this recipe. It calls for you to use 6 to 8 peeled and sliced apples, enough to make 6 cups. I'm not really sure that these apples are big enough to make 6 cups out of just 6 to 8 of them, so I am going to peel them and slice them and see what we end up with. So let me get to that. That's going to take a bit. So we went from this to this, and it took me forever. I am not a good peeler. So you're going to add your apple slices. About 6 to 8 cups is what it calls for, and I think that's about what I got. The apples will brown as you cut them. You can forestall that by using a little bit of lemon juice and tossing it, but I didn't have any lemon juice, so they're going to be a little bit browned, which is fine because they're going to cook anyway. So you're going to do that. I did cheat. I think I mentioned it before. I got these pre-made pie crusts because I just don't have the faith in my own ability to make a pie crust. I've got the egg to make a little bit of an egg wash, and all you're going to do is mix 1 cup of packed brown sugar, 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and at least a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And that is it. You're going to mix it all together. You're going to put it into your pie dish, which I found this, it is so pretty. Like, it's blue. I don't know where my mom got it, but it's very pretty. And that is the pie plate I'm going to use because that's the only one I found. But you're going to put that all together, and I will show you once I get it assembled. Oh, and you also need to preheat your oven to 425. Why is this always so hard for me? Anyway, you want this to be at 425. Yes, 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 I know. And you're going to cook it at 425 for about 15 minutes, and then you turn it down to, I think, 350. I will go double check my instructions on that, and bake it for another 35 to 40 minutes. So let me see if I can get this assembled and all tossed together, and I'll show you the steps as they come. So, sugar, which will take a bit of mixing to get in. Flour, this is just to kind of thicken things up in there and give it that sort of almost syrupy flavor that it has. It didn't actually say salt, but I am going to add salt to this because honestly, even if it didn't say it, you always need at least, I'd say, 1/4 teaspoon of salt for these things. So cinnamon, I am just going to kind of go ham with the cinnamon because cinnamon is wonderful. Then I'm going to mix this up and get my pie plate lined. So I'll be right back. Alright, I got that all mixed up, and honestly, it already smells really good. It's not even cooking. That's kind of sad. I think the saddest part is the fact that I really don't eat pie. I love making it. I love the smell of it, but I don't actually eat it. And I got my pre-made pie crust all unrolled, at least the bottom crust. I'm going to put it into the pan and fill it, and then get the top crust unrolled, and maybe I'll try and cut something pretty into the top. I don't know. We'll see. I might ruin it all, but we will see. It looks right. It actually ripped in this corner over here, so I had to do the little fix-it-up thing that I vaguely remember from making pies about a bazillion years ago. So I'm going to get it filled up, unroll this other crust, put it on top, and we will pop this baby into the oven, and then I will show you what it looks like when it comes out. Oh, almost forgot to tell you, I am going to do a little egg wash on the top crust, and I am also going to add about 2 tablespoons of chopped unsalted butter along the top. I'm just going to kind of dot it over the apples before I put the top crust on. And then I'm also going to dust the top with a cinnamon sugar mix. So we will see how it all turns out. Alright, so there we go, filled and dotted with butter, and this might be the silliest thing I've ever tried, but it might turn out looking really pretty. I cut some little leaf shapes and made little pie crust leaves that I will scatter across the top crust. Maybe it'll look ridiculous, maybe it'll look kind of cool. I don't know, we'll find out. So, not gonna lie, I think it looks really cute. I mean, I guess the proof is in the baking, but hey, if you're gonna cheat and use a pre-made pie crust, make fun shapes in it. That's going to be my new advice for myself. So let's get this in the oven. Alright, we are safely in the oven and just turned it down to 350 degrees for another, I had it for 33 minutes, but now, as you can tell, a little bit of time has gone by. So, cross your fingers. Hopefully this turns out good. Also, Zia is starving to death. If you hear her, she's always starving to death. Zia! Zia, are you hungry? You just woke up and you're starving. And it's still raining. Alright, so the oven has beeped. Normally I probably would set it on top of the oven to cool, but I'm also getting my main meal of the day ready, so that's a little occupied with what's going into the oven next. So let me open up and get this out, put it on my little cooling rack right there, and we will see what it looks like. Alright, I am not gonna lie, I think it looks pretty okay. Like, I am kind of impressed. The leaves actually look like fall leaves, which makes me really, really happy. So, I will show you later on when I cut it. Hopefully it all holds together then. But until then, it's time for me to make more food. So, thank you as always for joining me. It's kind of stopped raining for the moment, but who knows how long that's going to last. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this, and I will see you the next time I make something. Since I have that many apples left, I might try making the apple cake that I saw later. Not this week. Poor Ian now has an entire pie to eat unless I can find neighbors that need to eat some too. So, till then, I will talk to you later. Alright, we're going to attempt to cut this thing, and hopefully it will not completely fall apart. It's almost a shame to cut it, but in theory that's the only way to eat it. It's really, really juicy. And then Ian is going to eat a piece and tell me how it tastes, and I will tell you how it tastes. So, hopefully it will be good. I'm so sad cutting the pretty leaf. Oh, it's a lot messier than I thought it would be. Well, maybe not messier, just a lot juicier. I'm gonna add all this juice in. This is one juicy piece of pie. Maybe it'll set up more when it's like in the refrigerator later. Alright, and well, that is not going to be the thumbnail because that kind of fell apart, but that's alright. It looks like pie, I guess. So I'll report back and let you know how it tastes. Okay, so I actually let this set up overnight. I waited and tried to let it set up to get still a better thumbnail. I don't think it's going to be. This turned out a little bit sloppy, which surprised me because I didn't add extra liquid. I'm guessing that these apples were just really, really juicy. But overall, Ian, who is right now running the camera for me, said that it was very good. He said it was sweet, sweeter than he expected, which might have been the cup of brown sugar, or it might have just been the type of apple. And the cinnamon added a good flavor. Despite the fact that it was a store-bought crust, he said that that was pretty good. A little bit thinner than he's had in some pies, but overall not bad. So, I mean, it was pretty basic. It wasn't like it was some special apple pie, so easy, simple, and try cutting out your own leaves. It's kind of fun. So, as always, thank you, and I will see you next time.